Hello. I think I'm on. Looks like it. All right, so I'm gonna adjust my chair. There we go. All right, so here I am. Yay! All right, so I it is 9 o'clock, and as promised, um, I am going to make this, I guess, the official first live chat on YouTube. When it comes to creatives. And I'll talk about what that means to me in just a second. But if you're not subscribed, please subscribe because I have lots of things planned for this channel. This will be a place where people learn to be all that who they are rather than living up to other people's expectations, rather than doing what people assume you should be doing based on what you look like, you know, all that other stuff. But music, so, and that's, again, part of what I want to do more of. I'm kind of in a holding spot right now with that, but for a good reason. I am actually working on books, and yes, with the S, books. And it was a project that I could have had been sitting on for a while, for some years. And I think I need to give more background of what I've been doing since the last time I really posted things here on this channel. I've been on the other social medias doing things. And life, life happens, right? And but now that I see there is the technology is finally here, the ideas that I'd had and held on to for so many years, the vision that I had for myself is finally possible, right? And I'm super excited about that, and I'm just really excited about that. Now, what I've been doing, living life, playing music. I just don't post it here, but I'm in the process of location to another location, and just making sure that the people who really want to be a part of what I do has access to that. Yeah, I've learned lots of things over the years, and I'm just ready to share, and I'm ready to execute. Okay. So one of the things I've always wanted, and I went to school for communications, by the way. So I have a bachelor's in music, but I double majored. So I have a degree in music, and I would have had a degree in mass communications, but I did not take the internship. I didn't know any better, and I was kind of burnt out, quite honestly. So I did not take the internship, which I would have had 2 degrees. And I don't know, maybe I don't know if it would transfer, or maybe should I go back? I did literally everything except for that internship. So I don't know. But anyway, so I do have at least the music. But one of the classes, I'm just saying this to say that I have such background in communications, in radio, TV, film, that a lot of people didn't realize I had. And it was all for a reason. It wasn't because I, was just, geeking out, being a fangirl. Like, I really did want a life being creative. And knowing something about where is music going to be used, um States in America, a lot of people don't, or did at the time, appreciate musicians or any creative people, but they want their things. So that was always a passion of mine, or a frustration also of mine, that people just don't appreciate creative people, and we contribute so much. And I just, now, like I said, all these things, and we'll talk more and more. And in fact, anything, um, give me topics, give me things that I might potentially talk about. Again, this is my channel. I don't have to do it, okay? But I definitely want to talk about how technology and the events that had happened in the last few years have made it more possible for everyday people to live out their dreams. Okay. Now, I want to talk about first, I guess, in my headline title here, I want to talk about right now and the power that they wield. Now, the power that they wield and don't wield at the same time. And when I say artists, I mean musical artists and or musicians. Um, and that's something else I could talk about. It's like, ugh, I hate it when people, I don't know, we won't go there. But anyway, so a few weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, or last week, I don't know, was the Super Bowl, and I believe it was Rihanna that did the halftime show. I didn't watch it. I'm just gonna be honest. Didn't watch it, and I'm not a part of this whole like. It, I'll just say this: every year somebody's complaining about the halftime show. Okay, every year. So I'm not gonna waste my energy uh, with any kind of commentary on that nature. On was it good? Was it not good? Was like that's not music. I'm not here for that part at all. I'm here for the part that um, I do study people's business practices as creative people. I don't even like, again, I don't listen to her music. I'm not even a hater, okay? That's what I'm saying. It's like I study their business practices and hear about what they're doing, not necessarily being a fan. Okay, so I do know a few years ago, Rihanna um, was involved with a man who loaned her money, and she took that money and she started her own business. And I don't think a lot of people know that or pay attention to that or remember that, or but maybe you do, especially if you are now into her makeup line and her clothing line. Okay, so she was already a well-known singer and performer when she got involved with this man. And again, it's not about like, you know, who knows, like maybe I feel like he actually gave her insight on how to be sustainable as a creative person and just do what you want to do in life versus listening to a record label and being beholden to them because they're basically a bank. A lot of people don't know, and again, I'll go more into this, but she got herself involved with a man who lent her a lot of money. She started her own business. She is a billionaire, if you did not know this. Okay, so she is a billionaire, and she's living the life that she wants to live, quite honestly, and good for her. Okay, and she hadn't put out any music, and a lot of people again are just like, well, why isn't she not putting out any music? Because it's not worth it for her. It's like she's literally probably getting pennies per sale, or not even pennies, sorry, half portions of pennies. So it's not worth it to her. Once she realized, I'm sure, um, once you get into the record label, you know, business and stuff, and you start to see what it's really like in there, and the person becomes basically a commodity that they don't even get the value out of their own like commodityness. So Rihanna, she started her own business, and that's usually the things I've been paying attention to over the years. Is that when I see a um, a performer get to a certain status, they do certain things, make certain moves that doesn't quite have anything to do, or maybe it does, anything to do with what made them famous in the first place. So I can cite example after example after example. Okay, so let's go. Um, Rihanna, she's got a clothing line and makeup line. Okay, what's her name? uh, Cindy Crawford. Yes, she's the one. All right, Cindy Crawford. A lot of people don't know she was a famous like supermodel back in the day in the 90s, right? 80s and 90s. She has a furniture line, y'all. I know, some people might be like, yeah, yeah, I know that. Oh, yeah. And some people like, are you serious? Really? Yeah, she has a furniture line. Um, Let me think of another example. Paul Newman. Oh, he was one of the first, I think. Um, he of course, famous actor, Academy Award winning, I think. I don't know, but anyway, he had salad dressing and he raced race cars. Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. So, um, you might see my or hear my cat. He is trying to jump over here because I'm talking. But what I'm saying is, there is a way to make a living being creative. And yeah, okay, those three examples I just gave you are on this level of like, oh, I can't be a millionaire, but you can be a thousandaire. It's like you do not have to be broke, y'all. You can be a thousandaire. Let's be a thousandaire. Okay. And what I'm saying is Rihanna, Rihanna, yeah, Rihanna, sorry. Rihanna, she did the Super Bowl for no money, and that's I guess typical, but she did it for promotion because she's coming back out with with music. Okay. And there is what they call the ROI, the return on investment, that it was worth it to her to do basically just show her face. I'm back, everybody. Start talking about me. And then what was it like a few days later, the Vogue cover came out. There you go. She's back. She's out there. Marketing's. I've always said this. It's like, and again, I'm not dinging anybody in their what they make. It's not about that. But I've always said this. It's like it's not the product, it's the marketers. That's the real craft and the real science and the real skill. And so all of it is like a calculation for her to get her music back out because she's already a billionaire. She doesn't have to do any of this anymore. Not one single bit. And good for her. Now wait, let me make sure that I'm actually gonna, since I'm at my workstation over here. Lord, sorry. Double the music. So since I'm at my workstation, I can actually look this up in real time. So that's the fun part of now um, doing this in this manner. All right, so I'm gonna type in how much is net worth. Okay, I might be wrong now. Oh wait, she just had a birthday. Happy birthday, girl. She is. Oh wait, she is a billionaire. 1.4 billion. Yep. So, wow, she's richer than Jay-Z. So there you go. But anyway, so that's her net worth from, and it's not from music. It's not. Um, and I remember when, when people make them those certain moves, people think it's about vanity, when really it's kind of like you kind of almost, I don't want to say have to do it, but it's not as vanity as you think it is. It's actually a great way to supplement yourself. And I'm looking for a better website. Okay. To supplement yourself while you're continuing your creative, journey, right? And so, yeah, she's a billionaire. She can do what she wants. And like I said, good for her. And people are, I mean, the people out here complaining about the cover. And again, I don't get involved with that kind of thing. It's like, whatever. But I mean, she's back, at least saying that she's going to be back musically, right? Okay. Now, there's her. I also put on here to speak on Roger Waters, sorry. So Roger Waters, sorry, it's gonna be hard. I have a family, that's a family name too. But he if you know, you know, but I'm just gonna tell you. So he is one of the former members of Pink Floyd, and he does, he is what, 80 now? Again, let's look him up too. So he's about 80 years old, and he is going on tour. He got married last year, was it? I guess for the, I don't know, 50. Oh, so yeah, he's 79. See, I know stuff. And he has released new music, I believe. Yeah, he got married last year. And he is mm, he is either on tour right now. That's what I'm looking at. He's either on tour right now or about to go on tour. Yeah, so I see it. Starting, I guess, what, next month? There's some dates in Europe. But anyway, um, he's still a performing musician, artist out there doing what he's got to do with his life, living his best life, right? So this is, if we go back a little bit with the history of popular music, Pink Floyd is like this progressive rock band from the 60s, 70s, that iconic music, okay? And I don't know much about their business dealings that far back, but love the music, obviously. Um, Respect the craft, and hoping that, Roger does well. But I think the other day there was an article that came out in a magazine. Let's see if I can find it really quick. And he had a response to it. And the thing is this. Now, this is where the point I'm trying to make it, and I'm about to make it with the third person when I'm to say, like, he went on his platforms and he responded to this magazine article. I didn't even see the article, quite honestly. But he has, I guess, maybe, and he does, a bigger audience than the magazine does. So he went on there and he was complaining about how like they misrepresented him in the article. And I was like, good for him. Because one of the things I do try to coach and teach, and that's, yeah, another thing, I coach people. But anyway, what I coach and teach people to do is to really use the media, but don't let the media twist what you're doing. Okay, you're in charge. So I'm having, as you probably seen me with two different things. All right, so I stay hydrated, y'all. All right, so I love ginger beer, and I found this one particular brand from Athens that is so spicy, burns my mouth all the time. So I love it. It's non-alcoholic, well, it's not, I don't know if it's not sugary or if the ginger that they put in it is so intense, super intense. And then This is, I guess, what we'll call this a euphoric drink. A euphoric. Yeah. So I like this brand called, I'm not going to say it out loud, but I like this brand. And I've, it is also non alcoholic, but it does have things like passion flower in it that I love. What else is in it? L-T- L-theanine and L-tryptophan. Again, I am also a biohacker, if you did not know. But anyway, I've been doing a lot of stuff, y'all, since being on here. And I'm going to keep the other videos up. I know they're like 11 years old, but let's keep them up there. Because, I've always been doing this. This is not something new. But anyway, um, I like that Roger stood up for himself, used his own platforms to address a situation that he felt he was being unfairly represented in. And good, and again, good for him. And then third, this one is the doozy. And this is the one that's really making me super happy and excited. And I wish, the thing is, the media is not covering it, but they're kind of halfway covering it. So what I have found was the other part, the controversial parts of it. So do you remember when um, Spotify, when it was revealed that Joe Rogan went to Spotify for what, $20 million? Basically, a lot of money, a lot of money for his podcast. And what was also a part of that kind of scandal was the fact that not only was he getting all this money, musical artists are again getting portions of pennies, but they paid him money, cash money, okay? And then I guess the added thing, if you know about the Joe Rogan podcast, is that he's pretty raunchy. And that's me being gentle. He's kind of raunchy sometimes, and I've seen maybe one or two of the shows. They're very long. Depending on the guest, I know he's had one of my faves, Malcolm Gladwell, on as an author, but he got exposed. I don't want to say trouble, because it wasn't like people didn't know that on a lot of his episodes he would be using the N word, using it freely, like it's like, oh, I'm down, that kind of thing. So when when people who are not brown try to be down, they're trying to speak slang, and yeah. But anyway, so after all of that, my wonderful muse, sister girl, India Arie, she put on, I think it was Instagram. She was like, I'm not having this. It is about the N-word, but now it's about something else. And that's when she went, and I saw these videos, like at least she did two, I think. And she talked about how basically how are you rewarding somebody who did not build that platform, Spotify that is, when it was actually the musical artists that helped build that platform, and they're getting basically nothing, basically, like I said, slithers of pennies in royalties and streaming and all this other stuff, unless you own the publishing. And that's, again, I don't know. But so she made some valid points, and it was not until maybe everybody paying attention to the fact that Joe Rogan is using the N word in like what, 80 episodes or something, that people started paying attention, because people like controversy apparently, and that's what I've learned. People don't like just whatever, they pretend like they like whatever a certain thing, but they like messy and controversy. So it wasn't even until they saw that he was being paid all of this money, And all of these episodes had him just saying the N word left and right and upside down and all through. And then meanwhile, musical artists, some brown and black, um, weren't getting compensated at all, and that's horrible. And so what she ended up doing, India Arie, was that she had all of her music taken down off of Spotify in protest. I don't know if other people did. Um, I'm typing it in now because I don't want to mess up the details. Interesting. So yeah, so I went to her social medias, and that's why here I'm looking at the headlines here. I'm like, interesting. So I found out on her social medias that it and it was what, a few days ago, that she went on and she said, I'm putting my music back on Spotify because my demands have been met. And she went about again explaining why she took her music down. It wasn't necessarily because of Joe Rogan. It was because how it all ended up exposing all this, like he's getting all this money, he's saying N-word, all these other artists are getting nothing. So, and she re-explained all of that. And she wanted, I think she said 3 things. And again, go to her Instagram. Okay. She said she wanted an apology from Joe Rogan, which she said she got. She wanted uh what was the other thing, the second thing? Because I'm trying to say the third thing. The second thing, I want to say it was I don't think it was the removal of the episodes, but Spotify did it anyway. But then the third thing she wanted was to have artists get more money out of the streaming services. And she said, yeah, they went to court and they, did all of that. And come to find out, in fact, let me pull up. Like I said, I'm looking at some of these headlines, but I don't know how I feel about how they. And again, I used to write for magazines also, so I used to be a writer, so I know what they're trying to do is sensationalize or twist things in a way to get you to read their article. All right, I'm going to go to I'm going to look at American Songwriter. Okay, I can trust them. I feel like. So India Arie, she left Spotify. I think. Sure. Okay, so India Arie did not leave Spotify, putting her music and podcast, which had over 1 million followers, simply because of medical misinformation. Like a year ago, year and a half ago, yeah, people get information misrepresented in a lot of ways. And I don't know where that part came in, because she clearly said, like, when you want to know something, please go straight to the source. Don't be like, I heard and this and that. Like, I don't do gossip. I don't do celebrity gossip, you know? So that's what I'm saying. Like, my big point is we all now have our own platform, and we don't have to be filtered through rumors. We don't have to be filtered through, uh, um, uh, publicists and all this other stuff. None of that. Okay. All right. So anyway, let me skip through to the good parts, because if you go straight to her, she would have you would have known. It wasn't about any of that. All right. So artist recently shared a video of podcaster Joe Rogan's. Okay. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Okay. Skipping through. Okay. Why are they being like that? What is? Oh, this is an old one. So, okay. So she did get. She's, as of what, this week, I don't know when it's going to be up, but we'll see. All right, so that was 2023. No wonder I'm looking at 2022 like, but that was a week ago. All right, I guess I'll have to go to the tabloid and we'll read between the lines. Okay. All right. That's wild. Okay. I typed in India Arie. So this I typed India Arie Spotify. Why is it the tabloid that I did hit? It had Joe Rogan's name in it, but nowhere in it even in the first almost I mean she's not even on here. So basically, um, there had been a court case about the the streaming fees. Okay. And because of that, she was pulling it off. She was like, "Look, y'all gonna pay him all this money and pay me nothing? It's like, why am I even here, right?" So that's really why she pulled her music. It wasn't necessarily about the N word, because she also a few other people who are black that use the N word. Okay, it was about that money. Okay, I guess that is so interesting. Can't find the article. So you go straight to her. In fact, I'll do that right now. Go straight to her Instagram because that's where you're really gonna start learning more and more about how this all works, y'all. Um, hear it straight from the people. Okay, like I don't even think. And now going back to Rihanna, is it Rihanna? Yeah, Rihanna. Um, she doesn't. I don't think she is all over. It's like all over the social medias. She's not engaged. I'm just trying to find. All right, so I'm worried that my cat is about to knock over every. Hoping he doesn't. Don't do it. Okay. Yeah, this is so. I can't. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, we all. It's a level playing field. That's what I'm trying to say. It is now a level playing field. The people I just spoke on, the celebrities with other, we'll just call them side hustles. That's the one thing that I always paid attention to. Like I was like, oh, a lot of these, creative celebrity people, they have books, they do movies, television shows. They have all these are hustles. It's not like they go and clock in and clock out every day. These are little projects that they do, and they have offices and wherever they're stationed. But who knows now? It's like it's virtual. We all like I'm a work in my workstation. I guess it can function as an office. Now I've got the hiccups, y'all. This ginger over here. So it is a level playing field. And how does that play out for you and me? I got to rebuild my social medias. I got to reactivate my social medias because people are consuming more and more of social media, right? And there are now more companies catering to people individually, just putting their own work out there. And when I say not just music, notice I said work, their own work out there. So with my books that I'm working on, I most likely will be self-publishing. Okay, and because why not? It's easy. It's easy now. Self-publishing and looking for India Arie. Let's see here if I can find her. My, in my Instagram here. Okay. So yeah, so is she a Scorpio? Oh my gosh, stop. This is crazy. She would be a Scorpio, wouldn't she? I wonder. Wait, I'm gonna click on here for real. Or let's see here. So Rihanna just had a birthday. She's Pisces. See, these water people that you be playing with these folks. Uh, yeah, let's see here. Her birthday. Now I'll know something. I'm like, wait, she don't want to put her actual birthday up, but so close, so close. She's well, it's October 3rd. She's Libra. That's cool. Um, yeah. Anyway, she's always been a real one. So I'm gonna tell you the things that I've learned about her over the years. So as I'm looking at her bio a little bit here, yes, she went to SCAD, and that's just the Savannah College of Art and Design. Um, and I think I was kind of still in, or just got out of college myself um, when she was going to college and all that stuff. But what I had heard was when she got big and infamous and famous and stuff, and then SCAD wanted her to perform at the school, at the college, she was like, okay, I will. And this was back, what, in the 2000s, I think? But she said, I will do it, but you've got to eliminate all of my school debt. And you know what? I think they did. That's when I knew she was a real one. I see who we're dealing with here. Hmm. So, so she has been a real one since forever. All right. So, and with that, she again, I want to find. I'm surprised that nobody is talking about this. Maybe I'm breaking the news or something, but went straight to her on her Instagram about what she was able to finally get done, and quietly, it seems like, because nobody, like I said, I'm shocked nobody's talking about it. Again, maybe I'm breaking the news. I'm gonna click on here. Um, I don't want to have y'all listen to her. I know that it's actually on her other thing here. Okay, I want to try to just read the transcript if I could. Hmm. So I will have to come back and give you the full rundown on this, but she, like I said, it. I didn't know all of this was going on. As in, I didn't know that they took it to court and all this other stuff. Um, maybe I will have to play this. Hmm. So on the 15th, so what's 6 days ago or so? Because I think I was literally one of the first people to hear this. Like, and it's still not a lot of people have read this. Hmm. Not a lot of people have talked about this. And like I said, I am shocked. So shocked. Okay, so I'm gonna click on it, but I don't want you to have to listen to all of it. Hold on, I'm pausing this when I was watching this. yeah, she was driving around downtown Atlanta, and I was like, wait, she's on such and such street. I won't blast her like that, but anyway, um, let's roll it back just a touch. Yeah. Okay, I'm pausing because she's scrolling. But see, I'm telling you, and this is for the sake of so many people always saying to me like, "Why don't you go get signed on a record label?" Like, for what? So they can take all my money? I'd rather have zero. It's like, and they take like, let's not even get started with the whole Prince situation. I was there. I was there for my man. So that taught me a lot. I was like, no, no, thank you. I don't want to be a part of that. So she's saying basically record labels are banks, and they will give you a small portion, but you got to pay them back too. Okay. You got to pay them back. And I can, talk about that basic structure of record labels, but why do that when you can just be your own record label now? Have your own platforms, do your own thing. Okay. Literally. So basically, she's saying that we're about to get a raise. So I think I do still have music on Spotify right now. I just don't, I'm not on there as in me listening. I'm not on there. I don't do that. But it sounds as though we're about to get some raises. Okay. And that made me happy, and that made me feel like, why aren't more people talking about this right now? Mhm. That's funny. Hmm. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Okay. I think I need to do a thumbnail, and this is probably going to be the thumbnail. So let me get it ready. Because I'm like, let me make sure I get it. That's big. Girl, yeah. Yes, I need this to be the screenshot. I know. Because I want my money too, India. I really do. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes we out here, we got to be real ones. And yeah, Making that screenshot right now. I'm telling you. And I just feel like we don't have to take breadcrumbs anymore from people. We don't have to do, because I still do other gigs, and what really, that's what I was thinking about. It makes me sad when I'm doing my other gig and it's, out in the public and people walk by and they're like, oh, they want to, chat me up and stuff, or they're like, oh, you're doing beautiful music, and they're like, I wish I could have done that, and I'm like, but you can. Nobody is stopping you but you, and that's again why I'm doing this. I want people to see that the possibilities now are ridiculously easy. And the main obstacle at this point is the head game. Okay, you're telling yourself you can't do it. Okay, that's really what I'm doing this for, because let it be a love letter for the masses, for people who keep doubting themselves, who keep talking about like, oh, I'm too this and I'm too that. I'm like, no, you're not. I think, was it not uh see, I missed the Grammys too. I don't watch TV, but I think last year, or was it this year, there were some nominees that this, from what I remember. Oh, again, I got to look this up. So this was a woman, an elderly woman. I don't like saying elderly, but an older woman who, she always wanted to be a singer growing up when she was young, and it wasn't until her grandson like kind of just scooped her on in and recorded music with her, and they were nominated for a Grammy. I think she was what, in her 80s or something. So again, I would have to look this up, and maybe I might do that right now, because that's what I do. Um, and I don't think it was, if the Grammys was, wait, did we have a Grammys yet? So again, I don't know. I don't keep up with this kind of thing anymore. I think we did. Nominees from last year. So let me look. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, of course I'm gonna show you. I want to see the rest, and I don't want to see this through. Wow. I don't want to just see the winners. I want to see all the nominees. Okay. But basically, this older woman, her first album, and she's being nominated for a Grammy. So this is what I'm saying. It's like, it's not too late. As long as there's life in your body, it is not too late. Okay. And I just want people to just really realize that, like, it's time to be all of who you are, really and truly now. And yeah, that's kind of basically what I wanted to say. It's like, you'll see me chatting it up. Okay. Make sure you become a member or subscribe, or whatever this is. Subscribe. Yeah. This, I will say, passion flower. Oh, it had a reishi in it too. Cool. So passion flower makes you drowsy. Okay. But yeah, it's so promising. And then I wanted to geek out and show you something. This is kind of weird, but not weird. Okay, so yes, I am getting my books going. I'm putting music slightly to the side, but over the last few years though, I had been shopping for artists to do artwork for me for my music, right? And so I would like look at different artists, and it wasn't until like what, almost a year ago, I started reaching out to a few people just to see would they be interested in either a commission kind of thing or a collaboration. I think I reached out to about what 3 or 4 people, and that's when I started to realize it's like, wait a minute, these people, they got, first of all, like I've been following them, but I had not gone back to their like, because they're on my feed now, so I don't really see how many followers they have, And then when I finally started going back to their page and I see all these like hundreds of thousands of followers, I'm like, what do we when I when I liked you a few years ago, it didn't look like this, and like I said, I reached out to like 2 or 3 of them. 2 are still in college right now or just got out of college, but they're working artists. Okay. And the funny part is I went and started looking around. Oh, it's like now it started clicking for me. I was like, things have changed in a good way. Things have changed. And I think I emailed this person too, but as a teacher, I read books to kids because that's what I do, and book for us to read. And I was looking at the art, and I was like, yes, nice art, nice art. And but something familiar about it was very familiar, and I was like, and then as I'm reading the first chapter today in this book, so of course, teachers got to read ahead. So I'm reading the first chapter, and then it does not have a lot of pictures in it, so it does have a couple. But then again, I was like, this looks familiar, even in black and white. And so I started reading more about the author. I read a little bit about her and went to her website really quick, and then I looked at the Illustrator, and I was like, I emailed her. So she is one of the artists that I reached out to. Oh my gosh. And I was like, well, again, good for you, ma'am. Good for you. Okay. And I do want to let me just promote again, everyday people doing everyday things. Okay. So she is working for herself. Let me see. Okay. On Facebook, she goes by a different name, but I recognized the kind of the handle that she's using here. Genevieve B. So she's from, I guess, from what I remember, South Carolina. And I'll look it up again. Yeah, I was like, her art looks so familiar, so familiar. Um, I hope I'm spelling her name correctly. Genevieve. So it's not Genevieve. Sorry, Geneva. No. So she's, yep, she's a visual artist. So yeah, I was like, I totally recognize her art, but it just couldn't. It was like out of context, right? So I was just like the book, and I was like, this looks familiar, because I've been looking at her art for like 2 or 3 years on my feeds, and then like I said, finally was like, okay, I think I need to start putting some action into what I'm doing over here, and started reaching out to a few different artists, and she was like, I'm not taking any commissions or something like that, to the effect of that. And I was like, I'm a little sad because I liked her work. And I'll definitely put her. I'm gonna support her because look, I liked her. Like if she wasn't busy, I would be like, she might have been my artist. Just saying. But anyway, I'm gonna put her website here too and everything, and then I kind of want to give her that shout out. But yeah, it's great to be busy. I'm telling you, we now live in a day and age where we write our own tickets now. Okay, we don't sit around waiting for somebody to come discover us. We don't sit around saying like I need to pay my bill. You know, yes, we're gonna pay our bills. Okay, we're gonna pay our bills. That's gonna happen, but we're also gonna live our dreams and fulfill our missions and purpose. Okay, we're doing all of that. We're not gonna be struggling anymore. No more struggle bus. Struggle bus is done. Put struggle bus in the parking lot and let's walk. Let's go. Walk in sovereignty. Yes. So yeah, so that's pretty much what my channel is going to be about. Of course, there's going to be music, my music as we, move forward. But you're going to hear what made who I am and what I'm seeing. And I want more people to come out here like please leave these corporate jobs that don't serve you. Please get away from, and this is really, as I leave this, I'm going to try to make this just an hour tonight. Um, I almost forgot what I was going to say. But basically, if you are no longer here, like if you put so much energy and focus and time into a job or a career or a job and something happens to you that day, the next day they're going to be finding somebody else. They'll shed a tear or two, who knows, but the next day they're looking for somebody else. Okay, I'm not okay with that, and I don't think a lot of people should be okay with that. Okay, we are changing. Like I feel like we are now in a evolution of our society, an economic evolution, and a lot of people are talking about it. But what they are saying or we're saying is like, oh, nobody wants. Honey, the jobs are changing. Okay, they're changing, and I'm about to expose it all. People, they're working. They don't McDonald's anymore, and who should? Nobody should have to work at McDonald's and then work two other jobs. Okay, because that's what's really going on. McDonald's, really, do we need like billions of McDonald's? Sorry, I'm not, but basically what I'm saying is like we're evolving, and that makes me happy. Okay, we are evolving. So this episode has been brought to you by this book, Dragons in a Bag. I'll put all that info into my thing. This episode has been brought to you by Arie. I will put her Instagram in here. This show has been brought to you. Family name, y'all. I'm sorry. I keep saying Walters. And this show has been brought to you by Rihanna. Rihanna. Sorry. I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd queen, okay? I'm not into the culture. I make the culture. I examine the culture, dice it up, and analyze it through my microscope. So yeah. Take care.